Ang babasahin po ulit natin for our scripture reading is Deuteronomy chapter 10. Deuteronomy chapter 10, 1-0. At magsisimula lang po tayo sa verse Deuteronomy chapter 10. Babasahin natin ay from verse 12 hanggang sa last verse of this chapter, verse 22. Kung nandudo na po kayo, let's start reading. And now, Israel, what does the Lord your God require of you, but to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all His ways, to love Him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to keep the commandments of the Lord and His statutes, which I command you today for your good. Indeed, heaven and the highest heavens belong to the Lord your God, also the earth with all that is in it. The Lord delights only in your father to love them. He chose their descendants after them, you above all peoples, as it is this day. Therefore, circumcise the foreskin of your heart, and be stiff-necked no longer. For the Lord your God is God of gods, and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality, nor takes a bribe. He administers justice for the fatherless and the widow, loves the stranger, giving him food and clothing. Therefore, love the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall fear the Lord your God, you shall serve Him, and to Him you shall hold fast and take oaths in His name. He is your praise, and He is your God, who has done for you these great and awesome things, which your eyes have seen. Your fathers went down to Egypt with 70 persons, and now the Lord your God has made you as the stars of heaven in the multitude. Now, itong Deuteronomy ay masasabi nating last words or preaching ni Moses bago pumasok ang mga Israelites sa promised land at bago siya mamatay. Para kay Moses, ang kanyang dying desire was that the people who he had devoted most of his life would know God spiritually, inwardly, externally, and eternally. Ang concern kasi ni Moses na itong mga reliyosong taong kababayan niya ay hindi i-give up yung kanilang mga ritual o yung mga tradisyon nila o yung mga routine nila, yung nakagisnan, yung naging gawi nila para sa true heart devotion to the Lord. True religion is internal and experiential. Hindi nasasatisfied ang Diyos sa Old Testament time, even ngayon sa New Testament times, sa performance of religion na wala naman sa puso. Dito sa chapter nito, makikita natin yung una, the basis of true religion, pangalawa, the beginning of true religion, at pangatlo, the business of true religion. So, na-take up na natin na last time ng scripture reading natin dito, what is the basis of true religion? And the answer is, the person of God is the basis of true religion. Kaya, knowing God and establishing a relationship with Him is what true religion is all about. Now, yung pangalawa makikita natin dito ay yung tanong na, what is the beginning of true religion? Now, the answer, the beginning is inward. True religion is a matter of the heart, at sinabi sa verse 16, and expresses the heart of the matter. Now, ano yung heart of the matter sa verse 16? Circumcise the heart. Ang ibig sabihin ng circumcise ay to cut off, and in the theology of circumcision, the foreskin represented the filth of the flesh, meaning yung defilement, depravity, and impurity of man, o yung karumihan, kasamaan, at pagiging makasalanan ng tao. Sin o kasalanan ang siyang naghihiwalay sa tao sa Diyos. Kaya kailangan ito ma-address kung magkakapag-asa pa tayo magkaroon ng fellowship with God. Kaya importante na dapat mangyari itong circumcision of the heart dahil our heart represents the entirety of our person, the mind, the emotion, and the will. An uncircumcised heart is one that spiritually malfunctions. Hindi ito nag-iisip ng tama or gumagawa ng tama ayon sa salita ng Diyos. Therefore, to circumcise the heart involves a change in thought, feelings, and decisions. It involves a new nature. Kung si Moses sinabi, circumcise the heart, ito naman ang counterpart sa New Testament na sinabi ni Jesus Christ, you must be born again. Dito nagsisimula ang true religion, hindi sa reformation ng behavior, but a real transformation of the inside, bagong puso na nagmumula sa Diyos. Now thirdly, what is the business of true religion? Now the answer, the business is pervasive, meaning malaganap, pangkalahatan. Now true religion starts from the inside, but it is let loose in life. Nagsisimula po ito sa puso, pero makikita sa lahat ng aspeto ng ating buhay, sa madaling salita, sa ating buong buhay. Now, sa verse 12 and 13, mababasa natin kung ano-ano yung nire-require ng Diyos sa mga Israelites kung saan siya ay nakipag-covenant at nilagay ang loving God sa center. Kaya ano itong binanggit sa verse 12 and verse 13? Una, to fear God. And to fear God is simply living in the awareness of God, meaning kinukonsider natin siya sa lahat ng nangyayari at sitwasyon sa buhay natin. Pangalawa, to walk in His ways. To live a life that imitate His ways, meaning Christ-likeness and holiness, because He is holy. So we should be holy. Pangatlo, to love God. It is an evidence of being loved by God since we love Him because He first loved us. So genuine love for God is the mark of saving grace, yung pagiging ligtas at fulfillment ng God's greatest commandment. Now, pang-apat is to serve Him diligently, which means lahat ng ginagawa natin sa ating buhay, whether labor sa church or secular, meaning sa other sphere of influence natin, meaning sa family, sa community, or sa workplace, o kung estudyante ka sa school, ginagawa mo ito, yung labors mo, for the glory of God. And lastly, number 5, to keep His commandments, to pay close attention, and to give diligent care to obey Him. Yung law niya ay dapat delight ng ating puso. Obeying His commands is the manifestation of our love for Him. Kaya together, itong 5 binanggit ko, to fear, to walk, to love, to serve, to obey, to keep. Together, itong mga commands ang nagbibigay linaw that true religion, which is Christianity, is more than rituals or creeds. It is a way of life from a regenerated or circumcised heart that knows the person of God personally, yung pusong binago ng Diyos at meron ng close relationship sa ating Panginoong Jesus. So may the Lord bless the reading of His Word ngayong umaga.